Listening to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. It's your girl Samantha Thomas with you on this Tuesday evening. Don't you know that this is going to be a great show? Yes. I told you all that in the beginning, and I deliver. But more importantly, my next guest, y'all, we just talked to the amazing Jesse Campbell, but tonight I'm bringing, y'all gotta have my headliner, and I'm super excited and so honored that this gentleman is on the line with me tonight. You all have no idea how excited I am. Anytime you get ready and you can just let somebody's music play, you know, Delvin, that means they got great music.
That means they got the juice.
They got the juice. I let the entire new, my gosh, the entire new album could do this. Can we still say album?
We can.
Okay, we can still say album because my next guest is so timeless. Oh my goodness. Heroes and Gods is his newest album out right now. I was listening to it on iTunes, but I'm sure you can find this everywhere. Just like this voice is everywhere in our hearts. I'm on the line right now with Mr. Rahsaan Patterson. How you doing this evening, my friend?
I am good. How are you? Thank you for such a wonderful introduction.
Yeah, no, I do what I can. No, but seriously, Rahsaan, I am so excited to have you on the line with me tonight. How you doing this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
You know, I can't complain. I got some tea because I've been talking. So, you want to make sure
okay.
that you got to lubricate, the vocal cords. Even though I can't sing like you, I can talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my
Thank you for having me and for the invite to speak with you.
Oh, of course. Well, I am honored that when they said your name, I said, no, Rahsaan, no, he don't like Rahsaan. That's what I said, Rahsaan. So to have you on the line, this is an honor to me. I consider you one of the greats in music. I think your voice, again, I said it earlier, is timeless. And Rahsaan,
Thank you.
Oh, of course. I won't even consider myself a fan, but an admirer of what you do and what you bring to the industry. Yeah, Rahsaan. Now I know you have a history of singing, but what is it about music that you think what keeps you going in the industry? Because I know a lot of people right now, it's a tough time, but what keeps you going as far as being the great that you are in my eyes when it comes to
I'm influenced and inspired by life itself. As a creative, it absolutely informs my artistry.
Yeah.
And music has always been the biggest inspiration in my life. And so having grown up with it, constantly being around and being immersed in it, it inspires me to still communicate through that particular medium of artistry. Yeah. And so I believe I'll always make music,
and like you said, being a creative and creatives, as I know, I'm one. We got to always have some. We got to be doing something. We got to be always moving to keep and keeping our minds going. And that's one thing I can say about you. Now I know that, and I'm hearing that you're writing. You're still doing lots of writing, which you haven't let your pen up in any way. You're doing some stuff with Brandy right now. Is that what you got?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, you've written for
her. Oh yes, I have.
Okay.
I co-wrote Baby on her first album.
Yes. If we just
play that today. Yes, and so that was an awesome experience, and I was 19 at the time.
Wow, Rahsaan.
Yeah, so it was great to participate in the creation of that album, and it was really awesome too to get a view of what it is to observe a young person with such a gift.
Yeah.
Having started out in the industry as a child myself, I was never able to really know what that looked like,
from the other side.
As the talent, as the kid, I observed people admiring and responding to me and my gift, but I didn't know what it looked like and what the impact was to be in the presence and be a part of something like that until I worked with her. Yeah, so it was nice to be able to be on the other side of that.
So you put your pen in Baby. Now that's still a gem. Like I say, still to this day, you can play that. And then you did something with my brother, with one of my favorites, Mr. Tevin Campbell, which I'm still.
Yeah.
Woo! He's always in my heart. Now let me tell you,
he's an awesome singer, and that story is actually I had been doing demos for my own album.
Okay.
My debut album, and his A&R person had gotten a cassette of my demos for my album when I was shopping my deal.
Okay.
Back in 94, 95. And his A&R person called me in and basically wanted like 4 or 5 songs from my demo, and what was included in his one of the songs that he wanted was Spend the Night.
See, I'm so glad you kept it though. Come on.
Right. And the other song that he wanted was Where You Are.
Okay. That's another good one.
And so I allowed for them to use Could It Be, which was a duet on my demo. And what was the other one? Back to the World.
Oh, Come Back to the World. Okay.
Yeah, so that song was originally intended for my album. And so because he wanted to spend a night in Where You Are, and because I have always been a supporter of Tevin Campbell, and it was an opportunity for me to, further myself as a songwriter and gain exposure in that regard also. So I allowed them to do those 2 songs, but I definitely was like, nah, Where You Are is mine, Spend the Night is mine. Y'all can't have that.
You know what? So Spend the Night now. You play that song 13 years later and it still do something to your spirit. I don't know. Hey, Rahsaan, let me tell you, boy.
And now we're talking like 23 years.
It's 23. Look, come on. It ain't, God.
Yeah,
that was 97.
97,
gosh. Well, Samantha can count. Rahsaan, Samantha can count.
Of course. That song was actually written in 95, though.
You wrote this?
Yeah.
Wow. Spend the Night is a classic. I know you should. Yeah, I mean, of course. Now, I'm so glad you didn't let that get out your arsenal now that we know the behind the scenes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew right then, and, the minute I was sitting in that man's office, I was like, nah, can't have that one. Can't have that one.
Okay.
You can't have Where You Are.
As much as I love Tevin, we're going to keep along with you and other classics. That's me. I'm still holding hands in the park with him. But, because I love lyrics. I love songs. And as I was listening to some of your songs today, I think it was Oxford Blues on your Heroes and Gods. Yeah, you told a story of I'm a big lyric person, Rahsaan, so that's what I really admire about you, being able to pen thoughts. Yeah, because everybody can't do that in these days. You get it, but you really don't get a lot of lyrics.
Yeah,
you feel
storytelling.
Yes, you tell it, and you create a perfect picture. Oxford Blues, he let that girl get away. That's what happened.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah, that tends to happen in relationships. You know what I'm saying? Hindsight. You're able to see the mistakes you made, and you have the desires to wish you could have done it differently. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that hindsight, Rahsaan, you putting it on paper, and my other one, Sweet Memories, is another one that I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Oh, you got some great cuts on there, and there was one that I wanted of course, to get some deeper meaning from you, and just to see like the headspace and where you were. And this one, and I can't remember the name of, but it was about the love and pouring like out of a bottle. Which was it about, like, drinking?
Oh, I try.
Yes. Okay, yes. So you can tell I listen to your music, because I'm like,
yes, and I appreciate that very much. That is very much still in the vein of relationships that are in struggle mode.
Yeah.
And when you're able to, when you're able to look and assess all of the reasons for what's making it be in that space in terms of struggle. Your participation in it that's created it, the other person's participation in it that's created that, tug of war. And I try is very much about acknowledging the back and forth of relationship, and how often we allow ourselves to be in that position of back and forth with people.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Sometimes you know, you feel the love sometimes, and sometimes you're not. Sometimes
you're on that pendulum of love. I'm knowing.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So not quite receiving what you have set up as an expectation for yourself to receive from that other person, and being able to identify it and articulate it. But then also understand with that, whatever your need is, why you have it.
Man, this is how I know that you are a storyteller, and not just a songwriter, but a storyteller. You broke that down, because I was listening to it. I was like, yeah, this is a good one. But that entire Heroes and Gods album, just like, what was it like just creating that, and just overall?
Overall, it was a process that began in late 2013 in terms of conceptualizing the initial songs and cultivating the ideas for it and where I wanted it to go and what I wanted it to be. So from 2013 to 2017 was very much the recording process, you know, fine-tuning the arrangements and all that kind of stuff. But it was all based on, you know, real life experiences, which all of my work is based on, which is why it's relatable.
And you know what, and that's what I respect about what you do, and because I can tell it comes from someplace real. And a lot of artists, they do that, but at the same time, they know somebody else will get in the mix and write something else in the song,
right?
But it kind of gets kind of, you know, drained out a little bit, and I know
watered down.
How do you, Rahsaan, keep that going? Because I know a lot of fans can sometimes get into it, but how do you keep that originality, that, as I'm gonna call it, that RO factor, that Rahsaan originality factor? How do you keep that? I just be making up stuff.
I always write from the heart, you know, and I make sure that my communication is transparent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that can be a very vulnerable place to be, but once I had embarked on pursuing a solo recording career as a songwriter also, I knew that it was mandatory to articulate truth, you know, personal experience, because that's what people go through, you know. And so as a storyteller, I'm telling life stories, human stories, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting there and coming up with a scenario and then writing a song, which is, you know, not anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with that approach, you know. Right. I just have more of a tendency to write what I experience. It's easier that way for me. And so the journey of this album was from tragedy to triumph, really. Wow. You know, from the awakening to oneself, one's needs as it relates to another person in a relationship, why you have those needs, why you need other people to fill voids for you due to loss of parents or loss of this or X, Y, and Z. Like, you really have to identify those things so that you can heal those aspects of yourself, so that when you embark further on relationships with others, you don't set yourself up or add pressure to the other person to be what you need them to be.
Rahsaan, you know helping somebody out tonight. This is a free therapy session / how to write a good song from Rahsaan Patterson. No, that's
you know, and that was important for me, you know, in my own personal journey of further self-discovery and relating to people in an intimate way, like, you know, not putting pressure on people to show up as how I need them to be.
Come on, Rahsaan.
You know,
I think we're friends. I say that a lot. Yeah.
It's very important, and it takes being able to do that self-work and self-identifying to find those answers for yourself first,
and
so that you can live more in a space and state of peace. You know what I'm saying? And understanding of what's necessary to navigate life without hardships and internal struggle, spirit struggle. You know what I'm saying? So that's always been very important to me.
Now, Rahsaan, as we know, times have evolved and everything has changed music-wise. But what I always say about artists like you, how you can play somebody's song, and I'm saying 13, it was 23 years ago. Anytime you can play a song that somebody made over 2 decades ago and some change, 2 decades and some change, and it evokes those feelings of like what you were just talking about. Anytime I hear if somebody will say your name and I'm like, oh, can't believe that, and I can't sing a lick, but it comes.
You sang it in the right key, though.
I did. Come on. I didn't get validated by Rahsaan Patterson tonight.
You sang it in the right key.
Hey, I don't feel like I can sing, but Rahsaan Patterson said I can. So y'all know what that means around here. We're going to do some more tracks. Yes, thank you, Rahsaan.
Okay.
That's all I needed. That's all I needed. You done made my 2020, the December 2020. You made it, just so you know.
Okay.
Don't you know what you just did? And then even tackling something like a Luther Vandross song. How did you feel doing that with Don't You Know? How did that make you feel?
Well, I had incorporated that into my live shows probably somewhere around 2014. And that had always been one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Luther Vandross song.
Yes.
Even when the album came out and I was still a kid in New York, my parents played a lot of music. They played that album often. Of all the songs on that record, that one stuck out for me as a kid. And there was just something really seductive about it. Yeah. There was a certainty in the lyric that I was able to relate to as I got older. And I didn't necessarily want to cover it initially, but the response was so good in my live shows that, it was probably a better idea to record it. So I did.
I'll say this, Rahsaan, because we get a lot of remakes, and sometimes you like, and I'm gonna keep it real, like, why did they do that? When I heard it on the radio, and they said, it's a Don't You Know, and it's the Luther Vandross, and it's covered Rahsaan Patterson. I said, oh, that's okay, that's Rahsaan, that's cool. That's what I said. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So because other times you're like, why did so and so? But when I heard that it was you doing it, I was like, oh, it's okay, it's good. And that's exactly, But
Thank you.
Of course, and I say that with all honesty because I keep it real. I'd have been like, Rahsaan, that's nice. You got you some new music out, but no, you have new music out that is good.
You should have left that alone.
Yeah, I would have, but no, but brother, you just would have got my kind radio host like, but you got stuff. That's what's up, new tracks. But no, Rahsaan, honestly, you did that. You did it, and
thank you.
Of course,
and it was important for me in covering Luther Vandross because he was such a master of recording covers of other songs that you forgot that he was not the originator of because he made it his own.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't record a Luther song and do it just like he did. So in honoring him, I also had to approach it in the same way he approached covers, in that you make it your own.
You put that RP on it, that Rahsaan Patterson. Come on now, you put it on it. You put it on there.
Right. But I believe I maintained the integrity of the original, and paid homage to him at the same time. And that was my intention.
Well, I know that was important to you, and just like everything that you've done is important to me. I'm looking at it, and I had them pull this up, and you got to remind me of the soundtrack, but I just know it was "Stop Breaking My Heart" that came out on your Wines and Spirits album. What movie was it? Was it Brown Sugar? What movie was that? What movie?
Well, I don't know. I don't think "Stop Breaking My Heart" was in the movie, but "You Make Life So Good" was in Brown Sugar.
Yes, that's what it was. But "Stop Breaking My Heart" is another. See, I like your music, and that's just how much I like it.
Thank you.
Yes, "You Make Life So Good" was on that was Brown
You Make
Sugar.
Life So Good. That was Brown Sugar.
Rahsaan.
And then So Hot was in To Complete That Game.
See what I'm saying? Y'all, and this is because I admire what you do, but that stopped breaking my heart. That's another one that gets a lot of airplay on my playlist. It's been there, and I'd be.
I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, Rahsaan, you getting the real.
That does tend to be one of people's favorites.
Really?
Stop breaking my heart. Yeah, people love that one,
well,
which I'm grateful for.
Of course, a lot of your music, and I'm grateful for something else, and I want to say this to the end because you're going to go to the other side with me, right? We're going to talk a little bit on the other side. Is that okay?
Okay. Yes.
I just want to say, and I didn't want to talk about this, Rahsaan, but I cannot do this without you taking me back to Disney Channel back in the day with my
Kids
brother.
Incorporated.
Let me tell you something. The kid, and I am doing this without reading anything because I was a big fan of the show. You represented for the black kids because we didn't see us.
Yeah. There was a few. There was a handful.
What's that? Shanice was on there.
Shanice was absolutely on there. But at that time, we had Kim Fields, Back to Life. We had, I believe Emmanuel Lewis. Webster was still on. We had, we still had, I think, some Different Strokes vibes, still floating around.
Silver Spoons vibes too with Alfonso. That was
exactly, Alfonso, right. So there was maybe a good handful of us that were visible. And, it took me many years to understand the importance of my role on the show. You know what I mean? As a kid, I just was plucked out of New York City, came to Cali, was on TV overnight, basically, and just in a whirlwind. You know what I mean? I had no preparation for it. And so as it was happening, I was just in the moment of it all. And it wasn't until I was in my 30s when I actually got the gravity of what that was.
Yeah.
And the influence that was made on black kids.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it really means a lot for me, to know that I was blessed to have that positioning. You know what I'm saying? And it means so much.
Rahsaan, that meant a lot to me because, like I said, we saw us, but especially on a show like Kids Incorporated, just to see somebody who looked like me, that meant something to me back then. So I'm glad the realization hit you. It was later on in life. But
yeah, it was much later on. And that show incorporated music and dancing.
Everything.
You know life lessons.
Yeah.
All of it.
Because y'all had some life lessons. And you were a star on several episodes. And I just want to know, Rahsaan, do you still have that leather hat? In any kind of, wears a leather hat?
Oh, I do not. I got to tell you, I wish that I did because,
man,
I love that hat. And that hat is everything.
That leather hat?
That black leather hat. Yes. I don't have it. But I wish I did.
Well, Rahsaan,
but I do have other little memorabilia from that.
Well, listen, I want to thank you, and I got to tell me what kind of memorabilia you still got from that show because you, my friend, you're a legend to me in the game, and just still.
Thank you.
Oh, of course. Now we friends now because see we've kept it real with each other, but we're gonna join each other on the other side, and I am so excited. So what is your favorite song so far that you've done? Then we're gonna wrap it up. What do you think?
Oh, I don't really have a favorite. And that's real because every album is from a different era of my growth. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And each album captured a specific time period of my life. But, it's difficult to say, and I know people get tired of hearing that, but it's real. Yeah.
That's okay, Rahsaan. That means that, like you said, it's from a different period of your life, and where you are now is with the Heroes and Gods album, and that we're playing it to bring us out on this track. Rahsaan, you are a friend to the show. Whenever you come back to Chicago, I know you're a Bronx, New York guy. Yes, but you got.
But listen, I love Chicago.
We love
Chicago
you too.
Always gives me love, like always, from day one.
My friend Rahsaan Patterson, you all have heard his amazing voice. Get his album, Heroes and Gods, right now. It's available on every music platform, right, Rahsaan?
Yes, it is.
Oh, man.
Yes, it is.
Support the classics, too, because my brother has been doing this for some years over here. And still you look good. I'm going to let you know that. You look good, Rahsaan.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you are so welcome, y'all. You're listening to the Talk of Chicago 1690 WVON. It's your girl Samantha Thomas with one of my favorite artists, Rahsaan Patterson, who I am still honored that he wanted to talk to Samantha Thomas. Listen to this, y'all. Amazing energy. Shout out to everybody that made this happen in the building. You know who you are, y'all. We'll be back with some more great content on the Talk of Chicago 1690 WVON. All right, y'all. We'll be back tomorrow. I want to thank y'all so much. Y'all asked me about Rahsaan Patterson. We had none of y'all call, but that's all right. Come on over to social media. Y'all know the drill. And we'll be chatting more. King Rami, I appreciate you, brother. Everybody checking in. Thank you so much, Teresa, for the love. Yes, he is a legend. All right, y'all. We'll be back with more content, more things. But as of now, I'm going to say bye-bye. All right, y'all. Thank you for the love. Peace. Hey, Instagram. Happy Tuesday again. I am back, and y'all know I'm always excited. But I've been waiting to talk to this next guest for some time right now, and I can't believe that he is joining me on Instagram Live tonight. Well, I can believe it because we just had us a great conversation. So tonight, for you all who are watching me and checking in, I'll be talking to the Rahsaan Patterson shortly right here on Instagram Live. Yes, Rahsaan will be joining me. Who knows? He might sing a song for me. I don't know. But I'm just excited to talk to Rahsaan tonight. And here he is getting ready to join me in the building. Let me get ready. For Mr. Rahsaan Patterson. What's up, Rahsaan?
How are you? Nice to see you.
How are you, my friend? Looking good.
I'm
Come
good.
on, quarantine cool over there.
Thank you.
Yes, for the quarantine cool.
Yes, sweating.
You know what? It's okay. You looking good, and your voice sounds good. Anytime your talking voice can sound as good as your singing voice, you're doing something right. You're doing something right.
Thank you.
Well, Rahsaan, I know you and I had gotten into some great dialogue and conversation. So much that I had to give my tea to sip on because you just were giving me all kinds of good gems about how you're not just a songwriter, but a storyteller. And so how do you feel that has transcended and kept you being timeless in the industry? I'll hit you with some questions. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's okay. Having grown up listening to the Luther Vandrosses and Stevie Wonders and Prince and Michael Jackson and all of those great artists who were songwriters also, they absolutely informed me on how, not only as a singer to sing stories, but how to write them, and the use of language that is relatable and language that reflects human experience, and emotion that we all have.
Yeah.
So, as a songwriter, being a storyteller in that way, they definitely informed me. And also as a singer too, the Shaka Khans, the Sarah Vaughns, the Billie Holidays, Shaka is a songwriter also. With Billie and Sarah, they were able to envelop you in a story that you may not have even lived. And you felt like you were in it. Yeah. So I learned how to do that from them.
And you mentioned Shaka Khan. We got to bring it, but you always come back. All roads lead to Chicago.
They do.
Yes, Chicago.
They do.
What is and even speaking of her, and what is your tie to Miss Shaka Khan? What's your tie to her in the industry?
In the industry, it just started out as me being a fan who grew up listening to her. My parents played Rufus and Shaka Khan records. And then at about, 1981, when the What You Gonna Do For Me album came out, I had, a record player in my bedroom, and my cousin gave me her 45 of What You Gonna Do For Me. And on the B
For
side
those
was a
who are
song.
45 is the little ones, okay?
Oh yeah,
People, for those
was
who
the
act like they
smaller
don't
ones.
know.
My cousin had given me the 45 of What You're Gonna Do for Me, and on the B side of that song was a song called Lover's Touch. And it was intended for the album, but it didn't make it. But What You're Gonna Do for Me was hot, played all over the radio, BLS, Kiss FM, in New York. But in my bedroom, Lover's Touch on the B side, that was my shit. And
Okay.
that's when I actually fell in love with her artistry and her vocal ability. And so from there, I further developed an appreciation for her Rufus years, as I got older, late teens, and started to journey back into that era. And I just had gotten hooked, and so I had created in my head, I kept having this vision that I was going to meet her on my 21st birthday. And sure enough, that's what happened. So Penny Ford, who was in Snap, I Got the Power, that Penny Ford, she very close with Shaka Khan and and sang backgrounds with Shaka Khan. So she and I had known each other for a little bit, and she invited me to a Ella Fitzgerald tribute in Los Angeles that Shaka was performing at on my birthday. On my 21st
birthday that you
on the 21st birthday.
Come on
yes. Here. Yes. And so I met her. I went to the show. And saw the show and was able to hang out with her and Penny for the rest of the night. And that's where our friendship began. Yeah, on my 21st birthday. And so now it's just, she's just everything.
Wow, I see how that it's like a love that envelops you, if you will, because this word envelop. Come on, envelop. Yeah, you got enveloped spirit, and the love that you have for her, it shows on your other shows. I see it.
Yeah, and she's a mentor and has been for many years now, and just really a great lady.
Yeah.
Just really a great lady.
What is your favorite? What's your favorite Shaka song? Is it the Lover's Touch that she did? What's your favorite song?
Yes. It's Lover's Touch.
What we get?
And then there's a song called Soul Talking from her CK album. That's another favorite. And then What Am I Missing is one that she did with Rufus, which I love. And
come on here.
I mean, there's just mad Shaka songs all over. But one of my fondest memories of being with her, spending time with her, is being able to sit and listen to music together. Listen to Joni Mitchell, and then to be able to, play her music with her, to take her back down the road, from her past recordings, and sit with her and just take in the fact that I'm sitting with her
because
and enjoying her music.
You manifested that, and
yes.
As you talk, Rahsaan, one of my cuts was "Everlasting Love" by Rufus. Man,
when
the music,
I feel you dreaming, I think of sunset. Yes, love that one.
Come on,
so much. Oh,
woo,
yeah.
You done took me somewhere I can't sing, but I was jamming with Rahsaan. I just ad-libbed over your lyrics.
Yes. Yeah. And another great thing is, as a student of hers, as well as a student of Stevie Wonder and Prince and, all of the greats that I have loved, to be able to meet them and be welcomed by them into the fold, as an artist. You know what I'm saying? Was always and still is always very much a big deal. You know what I mean? Because the fan of the fan you are never goes away. You know what I'm saying? So that's always present. And then to be able to know that they appreciate your work,
How does
that means
still
everything.
make you feel, Rahsaan, like to this day?
It just like it makes my heart kind of like beat extra fast. And it also affirms that I'm doing what I was sent here to do, because if I can be impacted by their greatness through their gift of singing and songwriting, and hold them in the esteem that I hold them, and those very people acknowledge my gift in the same manner, that is, you don't even really dream of that happening, but when it does, it's just overwhelming. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Well, you have me smiling. I have not stopped smiling since I talked. And as you tell this, because Rahsaan, you manifested what would happen to you on your 21st birthday, and that took you to other levels. And being around like legends, like you said, the Princes and the Shaka Khans, and bringing up that y'all listen. How many people could say they listen to Joni Mitchell with Shaka Khan? Come on now, come on, look at that.
Well, if you're hanging around with her, you're bound to have that moment, because she's a huge Joni Mitchell fan.
Yeah.
So yeah, hanging with her, it's gonna happen.
Well, Rahsaan, and then somebody said it on here, because I was going to say to you, that is what you're giving other people right now, because you, my friend, you a goat to me. I know a lot of people. We got a lot of people on here. They love you. They love what you do. But man, this is keeping it real and giving credit where it's due, and giving people their roses, chrysanthemums, and all that while you're still here. That's what I love to do. So of course, but like,
and I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much, and I know social media does allow for us as artists to connect with people daily. You know what I'm saying? And I am someone who responds to messages that people send me, and connect with people. So I don't do this often. You know what I'm saying? Like sitting on a IG live.
I'm so honored.
And I got to tell you, if I wasn't the cat who does respond to DMs, I would have never gotten the invitation to talk with you. So,
so honored.
It just so happened, like at that hour, I felt like, okay, talk to Samantha. And so
Come on. And that's the handle. Talk to Samantha, Rahsaan. And thank
Talk
you
to Samantha.
If that when I came up with that, I changed it. I changed it a few years ago, and I just kept manifesting. I said, well, I just want to talk to people, and I want to talk to people with a purpose. And look at this. I manifested it into to be sitting with you. That has some power. What you put out has power. Words have power.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that was something that I've had to relearn. You know what I'm saying? In terms of knowing that I had manifested my 21st birthday meeting with her. And then later in life, just getting caught up in life and loss and pains and stuff, like I had disassociated myself from that aspect, So the last few years have been reconnecting and, aligning myself to manifestation in the ways that I did without really knowing that that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's what a lot of us are doing again at this point in time. And I think that's one of the important aspects of this whole COVID lockdown, make everybody sit their ass down and get together moment is really about, like really realigning with spirit so that we can all elevate, you know what I'm saying, and go back to who we have always been. You know, when we read all of those things about history and building pyramids and all of those things, like we have to get back to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So for myself, I'm just acknowledging that having manifested that at 21, it's been a process for me to get back to that. Just because life happens, you know what I'm saying? And you forget and you just get detached from that, you know what I'm saying? So that's been a part of my journey, which was also the intention for the album Heroes and Gods. You know what I'm saying? Just to realign. Yeah, thank you.
Of course. You know you ain't gonna get nothing but love and truth from me. And I'm honored for you to say that you don't do lives. People are asking would you do verses on here. I see some of these responses coming up here.
See, I haven't been reading.
You do verses.
You know,
I just read. They want to know what you think about verses, Rahsaan.
I think that verses is a great way for us to rejoice in the great artistry that has existed and influenced us and been a part of our lives. I'm not one to take part in the competitive aspects of all those things, which is why I've never really been a fan of, you know, the American Idols and all of those kind of shows. Now, as a kid, I did Star Search, you know what I'm saying? Because I know there's people like that, wait, he did Star Search, blah, 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 blah. Well, at the time that I did that, I was 12 years old. And at that time, I just really enjoyed singing. So any opportunity to sing, it was like, ooh, I want to sing. And actually, Shanice had done it first. She did it in '85. And so because she did it, I was like, oh, shit. She's a friend of the show, too. She's on with me. Yes, that's my boo right there. So because she did it, I was like, oh, I want to do it, you know, and it wasn't anything other than I just wanted to sing. You know what I mean? I was already on TV. Yeah. So it wasn't like I was looking to be famous or more famous. It was just an opportunity to sing. So back to the whole competitive nature of some of those shows and the energy that is put into the idea and the concept of versus, you know, that's a very competitive aspect and approach to competition. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm not really here for that.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on, there you go. There you go. Point blank.
You know, but at the same time, I'm aware that if I had to do it or decided to do it, that there's material and catalog that could absolutely stand up against anyone else's music.
That's all I can. Come on, Rahsaan, you better state facts. State the facts right here with your girl Samantha. You have your catalog, my friend, is so dope. And as we talk about Star Search, and when you were the kid on Star Search, did you wear the leather hat?
No, on Star Search, I didn't. I did not. I did not, because the hat was very much character necessity. Like that hat was a part of the character. Now I did wear it, you know, out in the real world, but it wasn't necessarily that often. You know what I mean? And when I did Star Search, it was not bringing that character into that realm. You know, I wanted people to see me, Rahsaan, not the kid. You know what I mean? Not the character. So yeah, I didn't wear the hat for that.
You know, I had to bring up the hat because that hat was so symbolic. And I know you and I talked about it. And shout out to the catalog, letting folks know that you got that catalog out there. But as you and I discussed, and I see Kids Incorporated, they're like chiming in saying things. I do look at some of the comments, but Rahsaan, that right there for a little Black girl in Chicago to see somebody who looked like me on a national show, that meant a lot. And your character was fun, and so
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Like I had told you earlier when we were on the radio, it took many years before I understood the significance of that role for young kids, for Black kids, and as a queer person, you know, all of those children who felt different and were discovering themselves and trying to figure it out, you know, I was able to be something for them to assist them with being okay to be free. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's very important. You know, I was raised in a family where it didn't matter who you were. You know what I mean? It didn't matter what you did, other than, you know, respect for your elders and loving your family and being respectful out in the streets. You could be who you wanted to be. And I've always had that support. I know that there are people who weren't raised that way, and it has added to the difficulty for some people to fully own who they are, you know, because it's connected to family and the resistance to people being who they are. But that role on Kids Incorporated had a lot to do with my nature. You know, it was a character, and there were specific attributes to the character that were created for the character, but a lot of it was just my nature too. You know what I'm saying? And having the freedom to be me, you know, and not having to tone it down or cover it up or act a certain way to be liked and all that kind of stuff, you know. But it makes me very happy and proud to know that I had that position, you know, on that show and that role, and that I still occupy that same space for people in the industry that I'm in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's been my life, you know, and it has extended itself throughout my entire career. You know what I'm saying? So where I started is still where I am in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm grateful for that.
That touched my heart right there. And I love that you're grateful for it. You really are touching my heart, because I grew up with you, if you will. And you and I were talking about old TV shows around that time, the Silver Spoons, the Give Me a Breaks, when that was Black kid on there, and you, the Kim Fields, the Alfonso Ribeiros, y'all just.
And that's the beauty of it also. The beauty of it also is that we did grow up together. You know, everybody that watched it, everybody that was 10 when I was 10, or 6 or 5 or 4 when I was 10, we've all grown up together. And that also lends itself to the familiarity that people have with me as a solo recording artist, you know, because they were introduced to my essence at an early age, and that essence has not changed. You know, that essence is still present in the art that I make today. So I know that that goes a long way for people. And I know that that is what causes people to remain supportive, you know, because it's like family in a way. You know what I mean?
You it's like, cousin,
yes, and I feel you on that. And I don't even do play cousins. Like, that's never been my thing. Like, I have enough real cousins, so I don't do the play cousin thing.
There's a whole bunch of
but whole bunch of them. But I do know. Right. And I see it often on my, you know, social media pages. People come in and, you know, tell me that I'm their cousin and stuff, and It's great. It's wonderful. You know what I mean? And I understand the importance of that. I know what that means. Yeah. And I appreciate it.
That's a huge thing. Yeah, of course, because
Yeah.
you were on my living room TV. We had a floor model
Exactly.
at the time. That's what I watched Kids Incorporated on the floor model. You remember those? That's what I was
Oh yeah.
watching on.
Was it in the
The
cabinet?
floor model TV. Yeah, in the cabinet. In the chest of drawers for some people. But Rahsaan, I just want to thank you and for doing this live with me, first of all. And your music, Heroes and Gods, is out. You did a little cut for me, but on this album, what is we already talked about what your favorite song is overall. But I know it might be a big task to ask. But for my Christmas gift, can you give me a little spin the night?
Oh,
yeah.
For making you wait
Or whatever
so
you want to do.
long. Right. But please believe that it's due to my lack of funds. Baby, I swear I'm gonna find a way to get out of here. 'Cause I wanna be where you are. I gotta get to where you are. 'Cause I can't stand being apart from you. Just to think of your smile soothes my soul for a while. It's true. I gotta get to where you are. I'll take a bus, plane, train, or car. All I know is that I must find a way to get to where you are.
Rahsaan,
there you go.
You just made my night. That's when you know somebody care about you. They taking that bus, plane, train, or car. They ain't playing no game.
Right. All of
them.
That's
You know.
All
of them. Rahsaan, my friend. Oh, my brother. I thank you so much tonight for your time. I hope you enjoyed talking to me because you just touched my heart.
Thank you for having me, and we'll do it again.
Yeah. Oh, we will. Well, happy holidays to you, and hopefully, like I said, when you come back to Chicago, when this world opened up, hopefully you'll come in the studio with me in person.
I will absolutely come. Yes, I would love that. I would prefer that, actually.
Me too. So we're gonna make that happen. All right. So keep checking your DMs now.
All right.
All right, Rahsaan.
I will. Night, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Much love to you. All right.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.